Exchange at 25 Broad, sponsor of this webcast, invites you to visit our remastered model residences.
Good day, I'm Jen Benepe, and this is The Real Deal. At the top of the news, the New York residential market is slowing. The City Council approves a massive rezoning in Jamaica, Queens, and guess who is coming to Manhattan? Nordstrom's and JCPenney. That and more on The Real Deal webcast this week. But first, some highlights from this week's interview. With residential and commercial real estate reacting to the nation's subprime woes, New York prices have started to weaken. But what is happening to the retail sector in New York? Is it tougher than all the rest? I spoke to Faith Hope Consolo, Chairman Retail Leasing and Sales at Prudential Douglas Elliman. Though the overall economy seems mostly insulated from the subprime mortgage mess so far, there has been talk about a possible recession. What implications does this have for consumer spending and its impact on the Manhattan retail scene?
Well, I really think the Manhattan retail scene is quite insulated, and I'm going to tell you why. Even if the Wall Street bonuses are down, they're so exorbitant.
In light of recent decreases in commercial office property prices, would you say that retail is not far behind?
Well, I think we might enjoy a little correction for retail.
For the full interview, click on the link below. And now for the news. The first concrete signs of a slowdown in Manhattan's residential market could be surfacing as some developers promise to cover buyers' closing costs and others offer higher commissions for brokers who bring in sales. A new 45-unit development at 517 West 46th Street has reduced prices recently by as much as $50,000 on about a quarter of its units. The developer of the Lenox Grand in East Harlem is offering to cover closing costs, 2 months of maintenance, and the first 2 months of common charges. The City Council approved by a 45-3 count Mayor Bloomberg's plans to rezone and transform Jamaica, Queens. After 2 years of extensive negotiations and public hearings and decades of planning, the rezoning will affect 368 blocks for new office, retail, and housing development. The rezoning is part of Bloomberg's land use strategy outlined in his 2001 Group of 35 report, which calls for creating 24/7 mixed-use centers in all 5 boroughs. The credit crunch hasn't stopped big department stores from planning their first Manhattan locations. Nordstrom has just signed for a space at the former Drake Hotel at 440 Park Avenue and East 56th Street. JCPenney plans to open its first Manhattan store next year at a 150,000 square foot space at the Manhattan Mall in Herald Square. Former Citibank CEO Sandy Weil has reportedly paid $42.4 million for a condo at 15 Central Park West, the third most expensive apartment sale in city history. Another condo at the same building is expected to sell to hedge fund manager Daniel Loeb for $45 million. Countrywide Financial, the nation's largest home lender, is seeking another huge investment, similar to the $2 billion deal it reached last month with Bank of America. The lender is collaborating with Goldman Sachs and law firm Wachtell, Lipton, Rosen & Katz to structure the investment. J.P. Morgan Chase, Citigroup, and several hedge funds reportedly expressed interest in Countrywide. A joint venture between Tribeca Associates, Square Mile Capital Management, and Lattice Partners signed a 99-year ground lease with Trinity Real Estate for 330 Hudson Street. The transaction paves the way for the $220 million redevelopment of the property, which will create 410,000 rentable square feet, including a luxury boutique hotel, Class A office space, and a retail component. Merrill Lynch's lease of all of World Financial Center 4 and part of Center 2, a total of 3 million square feet, will expire in 2013. The company reportedly will soon choose between 3 spots to expand: the new World Trade Center Tower 3, a new tower planned by Vornado Realty Trust that would replace the Hotel Pennsylvania, or a renewed lease at the World Financial Center, but with a new trading floor and more office space. The Lev Group has begun building a massive 5-tower, 1.1 million square foot mixed-use complex in Flushing, Queens. The Ismail Leyva designed River is the Manhattan firm's biggest ever project and will feature 3 residential buildings. There will be over 1,000 units and 2 commercial towers with a mix of office, hotel, and retail. Demolition and foundation work has begun on the project. Thank you for joining us for this edition of The Real Deal's webcast. Remember to click on the link below for this week's interview. Please join us every week for the latest in real estate news. I'm Jen Benepe, and this is The Real Deal.